I'm pretty on the outside, but I'm the devil on the inside.
Look how she cute, look how she sexy.
We never went on the mat, just dark up and dirty. Oh.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Niecy B. Niecy B, baby. Don't forget the baby. Oh. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're one of my subscribers, well, I love you all and thank you so much for coming back and supporting the man, damn. We're doing something a little different. It's gonna be a story time, okay? But it's also going to be a reflection. And I'm gonna encourage you guys to reflect as well. We're gonna be talking about something that's gonna be added straight into the I Got Played series. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if I haven't given you a reason to already. Hopefully I will by the end of this video. And make sure you go ahead and follow me on my social media, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, which will pop up on the screen. I just want to make a note. This story time isn't vindictive. It is literally, I had a really big reflective moment, if that's even a thing. Yeah, I had a really big reflective moment. And in that moment, I knew that I needed to make a video. The story time is going to be about the time that I was a side chick. Unknowingly, pretty much when I was like 17, I decided to go ahead and approach this guy on Facebook. I knew him because he was not necessarily my stepsister's friend, but she went to the same elementary school as him and whatever. I had met him way back then, and then for some reason, years later, I was like, hey, what's up? Messaged him, we got to talking, we ended up talking a lot, and then we ended up meeting up. I believe the first meetup was in my area. So he's from Durham. We ended up meeting up in Scarborough Town Center, if you guys know that. Scarborough Town Center before all the Brenos. And you know, we were a thing. Whenever I would go see my dad, when I went to Durham, you know, we would try to hang out. We'd talk on the phone all the time. And he came over to my dad's place. I went over to his house once. I used to hang out with his friends all the time. When I did actually go to his house once and his dad was there, it was like a really awkward encounter because it was kind of like, his dad was looking at me like I had like an eggplant emoji sticking out of my forehead. I was like, he went to the same school as my best friend and her sister from the last story time. Now, we have to rewind a little bit because I got Poya's side of the story, and essentially this is what she said to me. She said that she was at school one day and she was hanging out with her friend, and her friend knew this other girl. While she was hanging out with her friend and the other girl, my dude, oh, I should probably give him a name. My dude, let's call him Tony, walked up to them and he gave her a hug, and my friend was like, okay. But the hug was kind of like offish, so she was like, her senses are like alerted. She's like, what's this? And so when Tony walked off and like the girl wasn't there anymore, she asked her friend, she's like, oh, so like, how does Angela know Tony? And the friend is like, oh, that's her boyfriend. And my friend's like, nah, that's my friend's boyfriend. And she's like, no, that's her boyfriend. And Poya was like, okay. So Poya brought my attention to this whole situation. She pretty much called me up. She's like, bring, bring, bring. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, so Tony apparently has a girlfriend at school. And I'm like, Tony has a what, where? Poya was not playing any games. She had like done her research. Poya went all the way to getting this girl's Facebook. She's like, whatever I call the girl, let's say call her Vanessa because I can't remember what I called her. Tell Vanessa to message me on Facebook so we could talk. And the girl did, and she's like, yeah, well, you know, my friend is talking to him. And then she got some receipts for me to give to the girl. She's like, what the hell? Pretty much during March break, when him and I were hanging out and like when I went to his house and stuff, she wasn't around because she had gone back home. And when she went back home to visit, that's when he was hanging out with me and all that stuff, right? She was in disbelief, essentially. And so, you know, of course, Poya tells me, and I'm like, oh, hell no. So I went ahead and I confronted him, like, yo, what up? Why is it that I'm hearing that you're talking to this girl? And he's like, oh, no, it's not like that. Like, we were talking, but we're not together, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, just spinning all this game to try and convince me that I'm out of my mind. Like, this girl is nobody to him. So I summed it up and I said it was nothing. And in my head, I had most definitely written this guy off. Okay, as soon as I found out, I told the girlfriend, whatever, and that was that. But I was speaking to Poya to get some information about this story time so I could tell it, and she told me her side of the story, but it made it sound like I didn't drop it. Like I decided to continue to talk to this guy, and I was like, I would never. Because I had blocked him after the situation, I didn't have receipts between him and I. However, I had receipts between myself and Vanessa. And Vanessa and I had definitely been in conversation. We were conversing through Facebook, and I have all the Facebook messages. I'm not gonna put them in the video just out of respect for her as a person. So from what it looks like and from what it actually was, we were both dating him at the same time. We were exchanging notes. Like pretty much what he did was he told us both, she doesn't mean anything to me, just forget about it. So he would be in my area hanging out with me. From what I read in the messages, he came over to see me, and then, you know, he was hanging out with her as well. But when I realized that I was being dotish and I was there kissing up with this boy and hanging out with this boy, even though he had clearly been two-timing me or her, which at the end of the day, it turned out I was the side chick because she was there first. And, you know, him and I had an argument because I confronted him about this. I was messaging her, but I was on the phone, and I was confronting him like, yo, what the hell's wrong with you? He's like, well, if you don't want to believe me, then don't believe me. Boom. And he hung up the phone. Well, my guy, when you hang up the phone on me, that's that. Now, whether or not that was that, honestly, only a time machine could tell you. But I know that once I discovered that it wasn't as black and white as I had thought it was, a lot of memories came back to me of me still trying to like hang out with him, me still trying to talk to him, and me being a person that I don't even recognize 10 years later. So essentially the sum up of the story is that they ended up pregnant. So pretty much after like everything was said and done, like he was just being like really mean, you know, and I didn't appreciate that. Because I was trying to end on an okay note, a cordial note, but he was just being really dismissive. I do remember a lot of that, a lot of it to being very, very dismissive. And you know what? I'm not gonna bash the relationship and I'm not gonna say anything, but they are together to this day, and they have their kids and stuff, and they're really cute. How I know this is because she and I follow each other on Instagram. It was a very weird situation. Like we had each other on Facebook for the purpose of discussing trifling ass boyfriend, and like ended up not being friends or anything, but just being like cool, like following each other and whatnot. How this whole story came up, Tony contacted me recently, and you know, Tony was on my radar to include in the I Got Played series, but he wasn't at the top of my list because I guess I had buried a lot of what had happened for whatever the reasoning was. And I just didn't remember it being as serious as this, where it was like he was literally playing us, and then we continued to talk to him even though we knew that the other was still in the picture. So Tony contacts me. He went straight to my filtered inbox. He tried to call me first. Where's my phone? I think I can read these ones. And he says, hey, this is hella random, but I have something to tell you, but I'd like to give you a call. I'm like, what is it? Because like, hi. And he's like, I'm aware you're in Korea. Can I call you on FaceTime via Facebook? It's only gonna take 45 minutes. How he knew I was in Korea, I'm assuming is through wifey, because him and I have no connection whatsoever. It's like, I didn't know if it was actually you. I'm out now, but I'll message you when I get in. What is it about? And then pretty much, let's just give a summary. He said that he wants to apologize to me for what happened 10 years ago and how he treated me. He did compliment me quite a bit. I see you're blossoming as an amazing woman, and I can see you haven't changed, well, maybe a little bit, but overall you have flourished and grown so much and became a phenomenal, strong black woman. You deserve nothing but the best. I wish you nothing but joy and happiness. And then I was like, okay, well, now that I realize that he's not here to attack or here to do some like sneaky shit, sure, like you can go ahead and call me if it's still necessary. He did end up calling me. You know, the conversation was pretty much the same as the message he had sent me. I don't want to be negative about the conversation because it was clear that he was doing it for personal reasons. He did express that he was doing some sort of course, and they were asking them to reflect on their past mistakes, things that they've done, and all that jazz. And so that's why he reached out to me. He said, I hope I didn't influence the way that you interact with men and things of that nature. And you know, I thought that was cool. Like, okay, good for you. I did feel like it wasn't necessary, but as I said, it was for personal growth purposes, and I'm not gonna knock anybody for personal growth. I think more of my issue came with the ending of our conversation. I feel like that's where I had a problem. I feel like that's where I was like, you know, I could have done without that. It got kind of ox. You know that point, like when you're talking to somebody, but like you don't really know them that well, and it gets that awkward point in the conversation where it's like, okay, we gotta go, but we don't know how to get off the phone. That's how I felt. As much as I appreciate him coming to me and being like, oh yeah, like you're a phenomenal black woman, da 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 da. My issue came in with his last sentence. He really called me on some, you came a long way, goddamn. I wouldn't believe that your crazy ass would be in Korea. And I'm just like, okay, is this apology even valid anymore? I was just like, are you f***ing kidding me? Sir, you're not friends, okay? You had to request to send this message. Remember that, and always remember that. And that threw me off a bit. Like, it wasn't funny. I didn't find it entertaining. That part aside, let's bring in the good. He apologized. He said what he had to say, and he said he felt a lot better about it. Me, I didn't really have a change. Like, I wasn't sitting down here ruminating over it for years and years and years. I was literally chilling. I barely remembered the actual events that took place. Like, I literally had to go dig into messages to get the truth behind what I had been involved in. I feel like, in terms of self-reflection, it shows a lot of growth for me. And I'm proud of that. Like, I'm super proud of the fact that I've grown beyond a place where I let people play me. And I can confidently say that because I can't really remember the last time I've been played successfully. I usually nip that in the bud. But I do watch a lot of people around me get played, and I feel like I sound so cynical. When I tell people, I'm like, drop that shit right now, like drop it. He ain't like, do you realize that he did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P? This dude is trash. But I realize it comes from a place of actual experience because in my head, this is how this story went. He cheated on me. I found out. I told her, and then I walked away. The fact that even after finding out, I was still like, okay, and even after we had like been like nabby, like after we had stopped talking, I still remember myself wanting that feeling again, and that is tragic. I was like, I walked away from this. I would never stay in this situation. I was thinking 10 years later me. I was thinking now me, what now me would do. I wasn't thinking like how 17-year-old me was thinking, you know what I mean? And like, I'm happy I did my research, and I'm happy I asked questions, and I'm happy I did all of that, because it led me to see that like I've grown a lot. Like, I'm so happy that I've gotten to a place where I'm comfortable enough with myself to say, no, I'm not gonna take your crap. I'm not gonna do this anymore. Like, I'd always been a strong person, but there were times that I would have my weak points, and also times that I needed to learn. And that's and these situations are very valuable to me. As much as like it makes for a good story time or fun time, whatever, it also makes for a really good like reflecting moment. And that's what I'm doing with this video. It's less of a story time, more of a reflection, just realizing that I have grown so far beyond getting played like that. I have grown so far beyond feeling like this person makes me or breaks me, you know what I mean? My next question would be like, why did I bury that? Like, why did I bury that information so far that I had to get somebody else to reach in and give me that nudge to find it? Like, why didn't I know that? And then once I found out, a lot more came back to me, like a lot more. And I was just like, shit, like I let this dude play me. And this is what this I Got Played series is all about. You guys get to hear about all the times that I got played, okay? And that's, you know, some people might find that embarrassing, and some people might want to hide that, and some people might want to be like, why are you looking into your past? I just really want to inspire people to kind of just realize their worth, realize that you don't need to stick around for anybody who isn't really riding for you. Like, anyone who would intentionally hurt you or hurt you without thinking of the consequences doesn't really deserve your time. And, you know, obviously it took me a while to learn that, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. I like when I realize certain things about myself and I can say honestly, like, this is what it is and this is what I've been through. Just remember that your happiness is more important than anything else, and just to put yourself first always. Like, don't let anybody make you feel like crap. Don't let anybody talk to you any type of way. Where you are in your life, you're not meant to be here to be someone's punching bag. You're not meant to be here to be played, to be disrespected. Like, you are a human being, you're worthy, like you're an amazing person. Also, we shouldn't play the fool for anybody, because at the end of the day, anyone who honestly and genuinely wants you will show you that, and you won't have to be begging or dancing or performing in order to impress them and get their attention. In the comment section, I want you to reflect as well, whether it's talking to your younger self or whether it's just talking about, you know, a situation. Summarize it if you want. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will be taking submissions. If you have a story or a reflection or just a topic that you want to talk about in regards to the I Got Played series, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. Any questions you have, make sure you send them to my email. I'll put my email on the screen because I can never remember it, and it'll be down in the description box as well. Send your submissions. I want to get this on and popping. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Hashtag support the mandem. Hit that subscribe button as well. Hit the notification button, because I did do a premiere last week, and thank you to everyone who came out and watched and chatted with me. But I'd love to do more of them. Then that's about it for today, and as always, it's a peace, and it's a love, and it's a annyeong.
I'm feeling all this, she already know this. She want a bad man to come and video this. I'm feeling all this, she already know this. She want a bad man to come and video this.